I mentioned in this morning's intro that one of the most exciting things about the North is this feeling of momentum, this amount of exciting stuff that is either coming to the North or is starting in the North. What you're going to hear next is a brilliant example of that, with the fact that the BRITs is going to be taking place in Manchester in just a few days. So to say a little bit more about that, I'm going to hand over to Dr. Joe Twist, OBE from the BPI, and Ben Kerr from Cold Glass Productions. But please give them a big, mad round of applause.
Hello, everyone. How wonderful to be here, and I heard lots of whoops. It was just me for the BRIT Awards being here. Can we have some whoops, please? It'd be great. My name is Dr. Joe Twist. I am indeed the CEO of the BPI. For those of you who don't know who the BPI is, we are not the Bank of Philippines, which is often what you get when you Google us. We need to sort that out before websites become slightly irrelevant. But we are the representative voice for the UK's fantastic recorded music industry. And our members range from the big music labels, the majors, Sony, Universal, Warner, to hundreds of independent labels and many more. And record labels are a vital, vital part of the music ecosystem. They make that investment, they find that talent, they nurture them, they help market the talent and their stories and their vision, and help them reach global success and to reach their commercial potential. Our work ranges from a whole bunch of stuff which is around championing the rights of our members, the interests of the music industry. We do a lot of political advocacy. We promote British music exports overseas, internationally. We do showcases. We deliver the Music Export Growth Scheme, which is a government grant scheme to help artists perform overseas. And we have the most authoritative data in the world about the music market. What's really important is about also safeguarding recorded music. It's really at our core, and it should be at our core for all of the creative industries, frankly. Our rights framework and our content protection work and our legal work is really, really important. I'm sure this festival has been full of discussion about generative AI. It's a huge opportunity for all of us, for the whole world, but we need that careful protection and legal framework in place because human creativity must remain central and protected. We are also the custodians of, by the way, we do quite a lot of innovation work as well through Grow Music Scheme. So we are embracing innovation at its core with creativity. But we are also the custodians of the major cultural assets that the UK has in the music industry. The Mercury Prize, which celebrates the best albums of the year, the official charts, which we co-own, and the BRIT Awards, BRIT Billion, and BRIT Certified. And that's why we're here, to spread the love of the BRIT Awards and to talk about its wider cultural impact.
Hello, everybody. My name is Ben Kerr. I'm the CEO of Cold Glass Productions. We are a digital IP business and a marketing agency. We work extensively with the BBC across all of their pop music output. So that's everything from Radio 1, Radio 2, and 6 Music. We work across BBC Sounds. We create our own content and IP like Dish from Waitrose. And of course, the reason I'm here today is because we're the digital content provider for the BRIT Awards and the Mercury Music Prize. And our job is to get the Mercury Prize and the BRIT Awards to as many people as possible, as meaningfully as possible. And it won't surprise any of you to know, if you're living in Manchester or in the north, that, of course, the BRITs is coming and will be from the Co-op Arena in 3 days' time. Well, the awards is in 3 days' time, but we've been here now for months, working with Manchester City Council and the Co-op Arena to plan the event. And as new residents to Manchester, we thought it'd be a good idea to explain a little bit about the ethos behind the BRIT Awards, how the BRITs work, and hopefully to extend a hand of friendship to look for future collaborations, because we're coming back again next year. So there's loads of great ways that we'd love to work with the brands, agencies, and marketing businesses of Manchester and the north.
Just a bit about the BRIT Awards and what actually are they. I'm sure you all know, but the BRIT Awards with MasterCard is the biggest night in British music. First and foremost, it's a promotional platform for the fantastic year in music that we've seen from the previous 12 months and the amazing British talent that we have coming from all parts of the country. We showcase breakthrough acts, artists, established stars, and really massive global acts who will all be piling in over the next couple of days into Manchester. And its origins were in 1977, where the first awards were held, and it was initially to honour the Queen's Silver Jubilee. It was hosted by Michael Aspel, for any of you old enough in a room like me to remember, and the Beatles won Outstanding Contribution that year. And its evolution has been really interesting because at the time it was thought there was a bit of slump in record sales after Christmas, so it was designed to sort of help boost that in the old days of those cycles. But now it's much, much more than that, and over its almost 50-year history, it's really developed into this huge cultural platform and cultural moment. And for us, of the BRIT Awards, as the custodians of it, diversity on stage, diversity behind the scenes is absolutely critical. And that cultural impact really on popular culture and the reflection of popular culture in its widest sense is a key motivation. And as a result, it means that the brand now is active 52 weeks of the year, not just around the night of the awards itself. And we are guided by a really strong set of values and mission. And our core belief is that music truly can transform lives, and that the Brits are truly part of national conversation. And they do matter more than ever before. Of course, as I just said, they celebrate and market the breadth of the UK music talent we have, but in an algorithm-driven world where global competition and breaking through and discoverability is much harder, we really need to promote human creativity and that cultural relevance, and that matters more than ever. The awards also create those shared cultural moments. They're not just the benchmark for global success, but they are that too. And we can see that, you know, with Adele's performance in 2011 at the Brits. This really confirmed her status as a true global breakthrough artist. And its reach is huge. We broadcast live on ITV1 on Saturday night and on ITVX. And for the first time this year, we have a truly global YouTube stream, which goes out half an hour delay. And the global broadcast and social distribution is all part of that global reach, and it's really, really important to us. And the format itself continues to evolve, but you know, with awards, you want those live performances. I think we have 10 live performances this year, and all of that plays out in digital. But the TV and that Saturday night moment on terrestrial TV, on ITV1, in 3 hours, over 3 hours, is still really critical because it is about that national uniting moment and national conversation. And crucially, it's one of the programs and live events that really, really reaches that young demographic and that huge share of 16 to 34s, which is so, so important.
But yeah, as Joe said, it is a global event. All of us now in our pockets via our phones have got the world's music library at our fingertips. And what happens on Saturday night can literally change how music is consumed around the world. We know that not everyone's going to watch the show live, but we do know that the hundreds of stories from the show can change the way people's relationship with music and the songs they want to listen to. Stories that come from the Brits and have the Brits stamp on them come with a unique credibility and authority that makes people want to listen and re-engage with artists. So to the TV cameras on Saturday night, we have a 120-strong digital crew that will be running across the arena. And a really important thing for us this year, as we've moved to Manchester, is that the majority of that crew will be from the local area. From a social perspective, of course, we're not bound by the restraints of a TV schedule, so we'll be broadcasting from 2 hours before the show. As soon as the first celebrity gets out of the car and onto the red carpet, we will be there with them. And as ITV is the broadcasting partner of the Brits, so we're working with Meta, who are our digital partner, and we'll be streaming a live show from the red carpet, which we broadcast live on Facebook and Instagram, with pictures and videos going straight onto the Brits WhatsApp feed. So we have 18 broadcast cameras covering the whole red carpet, and this really represents a massive free hit for talent, because our relationship with all music artists has dramatically changed now with social media, and we see them as friends and we want to be part of their lives. And for artists who want to take the opportunity, the red carpet is a chance to change the narrative of what happens on the night of the BRIT Awards. You can see what Teddy Swims did last year. He wore that amazing coat full of cuddly toys, and he actually managed to get 8 million views of his walk onto the BRIT Awards on his own. And in fact, 40% of all views of social content regarding the BRIT Awards happened on the red carpet last year. It was truly massive.
He didn't even drop a teddy.
He did.
I was waiting for one. Anyway.
So, added to our own coverage on the red carpet, we'll have 45 media cameras from Manchester, the national news and global news organisations, as well as brands like Neutrogena and MasterCard. On the show night, our 120 crew will be side of stage, back of stage, on the floor, on the tables, and they'll also be taking clips from the TV show, looking for unique social moments from Jack Whitehall, the performances, all the speeches, and we've also got a winner's room backstage. And on the evening itself, we'll create 2,000 assets, and we'll distribute those across our own BRITs channels, but also to the teams of the 10 performers, the 25 guest presenters, the 60 nominated artists, and the 13 different media partners. This creates a massive media distribution network, and 70% of those people who we give assets to then go on to distribute them, which meant that this time last year, we reached over 1 billion views for content for the BRIT Awards. But to ensure the awards stay relevant, of course, it's one huge night that we build up to, but we've got an always-on platform, so it'd be crazy to turn off the channels after the event. So we run a calendar of events across our social channels throughout the year. This includes a nomination show before the awards themselves, which gets 12 million views, where we announce some of the performers on all of the nominees. We also have a Critics' Choice moment. We announce the show's host and who's designed the BRIT Award, or the award for the evening. And we've also invested in a new talent program where we get young, new creators to report on music news every single week of the year. This goes alongside recognizing songs that reach the billion mark with our the BRIT Billion trophy, and New Music Friday and a red carpet treatment, which means we're continually building the stage for British artists throughout the year. And this is really important because British artists actually account for 9% of all global recorded music streams. And considering we're our population is only 1% of the world, we're really punching above our weight. On Brits Night itself, you'll hear loads of people say they've always dreamed of winning a Brit Award. And keeping young people wanting to win a Brit and to get up on that stage is a key part of the philosophy and the way the Brit Awards works.
And that talent story is why, I guess, a trade association is involved with such an amazing platform. Historically, the music industry would typically invest in talent after they emerged, once they were spotted. And, you know, I think there was a recognition in 1989 when we decided to set up a charity arm, which is called the BRIT Trust, that actually we need to be supporting that talent and investing in talent from the earliest possible opportunity and age. And the BRIT Trust, when it was set up, took the proceeds that we make from the BRIT Awards, and the major beneficiary of the BRIT Trust is the Brit School in Croydon. If you were watching Good Morning Britain on ITV this morning, they were filming from down in Croydon at the Brit School, seeing the various different performing arts that the young people there get to experience. It is special, it really is. It's a crucible of talent and care. It is free to attend. It has 1,300 students aged 14 to 19. It's creative and full academic education. Its values are about equal opportunity, regardless of background, regardless of anything that might stand in your way. The support is tremendous, and it's because of the close relationship, particularly with the music industry, but as well as the other creative industries, and that relationship with the school that I think really makes it very, very special. So they provide equipment, specialist training, the master classes, the contact and the work experience, as well as financial aid for students in need. And the impact of that long-term investment is significant for the creative industries, not just the music industry. When we talk about music, the alumni speaks for itself. We have Adele, we have Olivia Dean, And it really, really gives us that recognition of how important it is to invest in that talent for the long term. 99% of the young people at the school do go on to further education, but they go into work, whether that's on stage or behind the scenes. And that technical talent and production talent is really important across the creative industries. So it's a continuous regeneration of talent. It's a bit like Doctor Who of talent. It's really important that we're looking at this as interconnected, the interconnected tissue between our creative disciplines as creative industries, and reflecting that industry standard, real-world creative industry experience. And we need to foster this more if the creative industries and the music industry is going to continue to hit the high notes on the global stage. Because we can tell a really brilliant story through figures, through our economic power in the music industry, but in the wider creative industry. Music touches every part of our creative industries, and it's a cultural multiplier. That's how we like to think of it. The figures speak for itself, and we are still, in music terms, the second biggest exporter globally of music, making 8 billion contribution to the UK economy. But we cannot be complacent. We are in a highly competitive global music market, and the UK's global recorded music share has halved over the last decade because streaming has opened up to so many more territories and music from everywhere, which is amazing. So we need to make sure that we are protecting and supporting the ecosystem, and we are seeing some really brilliant signs of success starting to break through in Ray, Charlie XCX, Olivia, Lola Young, Sky Newman, Sleep Token, Last Dinner Party, and many, many more over the last 12 months in particular. And if anyone watched the Grammys, 4 Grammy winners came from the BRIT School. So that is, again, a testament to that investment really working. And the key truth really is that music is driven by human experience. Music is driven by human creativity, by human emotion. Talent exists across our nations and regions in the UK, and we are very fortunate to have that. And if that's the case, then we need to be there too. We need to be creating the environment, investing properly in those ecosystems and the legacy, and leaving a legacy. So it's part of the reason why we've made the move to Manchester. We have a responsibility as an industry to create those pathways where talent lives, to be there, not just in London. We want to remove barriers, actively go find the ecosystems that exist and help feed them and nurture them and be part of them. It's about inclusion, it's about opportunity, and this is about providing aspiration. The cultural heritage of our UK cities and areas across the UK are proof in point. Manchester, Liverpool, Leeds, Glasgow, Cardiff, Belfast, much more. And it's also why the Mercury Prize went to Newcastle for the first time in its history last October, and why we're returning again this October.
And it's why when we've come to Manchester this year that we're making the BRITs the biggest it's ever been. We're currently part of a month-long cultural celebration of music, where at the moment there's BRITs Week gigs in support of War Child across the city. On Friday at New Century Hall there'll be a Fringe Lab with an industry forum, mixer and live music showcase. We've got a month-long art trail championing Northwest artists even, and Indie Music Zine The Rodeo are producing a special limited edition all about BRITs artists. On Saturday, tram travel is free if you've got a BRITs ticket to get to the awards, and all of the people in the pit will be local students, which is absolutely brilliant. There are so many ways that we want to get involved in the city, so if you're a brand or an advertiser that wants to collaborate with us next year, please put yourself forward.
And in case you're interested, our commitment goes beyond the awards themselves. So when I was 6 weeks into starting this job 2.5 years ago, we got the green light from the government, Department of Education, to create a new specialist performing arts college in Bradford. And this is going to be based on the successful model of the BRIT School and ELAM, which is also another music school in East London. So this will be for 16 to 19-year-olds, opening in 2028. And again, we want to be part of that future for young people across this nation. And it will be free, it will be accessible, and it will be really reinforcing why creative education continues to be essential. I just also want to say that music creativity, as we all know, also helps keep us happy. And music is very, very powerful in all sorts of ways as humans, but it's also very powerful for therapeutic use as well. And the BRIT Trust not only funds the creative education in Brit School and other creative education with other creative education grants, it also funds the really critical work of Nordoff and Robins, which is about using music as part of therapy. And if you are ever interested in finding out about the power of music, please do talk to us, because it is important.
So there we go. That is the Brits. We're excited for Saturday night. I hope that's given you a bit of a flavour of all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes, of how big and important the Brits is to UK creative industries, and how important participation in music is across all that we do, from Nordoff and Robins to the Brit School to our future college opening in Bradford. What's really important about this awards is looking to the future as well as the present, and investing now so that the British music stays an important part of the global economy. Thank you.
Thank you.
Smashed it on time.
Thank you so much.